Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today I'm running some more T5 Abyss because I just got so hyped from that Abyss loot I got last time I ran. 100+ mil in just like a few minutes. What was like 10-12 minutes, something like that. It was just amazing and I want to keep doing this. Okay, so let's go. We got not so many dissipators, but we want to go for the null warpers and the spearfishes because they're going to make us do this site a lot slower if we are slowed down. Let's just grab these caches over here, shoot the heavy missile on the secondary cache over here. You know, it's really nice. Sometimes you can get these caches that are right next to each other. You barely have to move to actually even pick them up. That's really nice. But if you had an MTU, you'd have, even though they're right next to each other, you'd have to pull them all the way in, That's really annoying. Okay, let's get this and grab it in. No, just bouncing me out. Bouncing me up per usual, as per usual. Okay, let's start shooting at light missiles. You always need to shoot those guys. Maybe a little bit of heavy as well, just in case. You know, I think the heavy missile does a lot of damage, but the thing is, I've got rapid light missile launchers. So it's not like just standard light missile launchers. They got rapid light missile launchers. So they have a very high frequency. They've got small ammunition, but they're very high frequency in terms of their firing rate. Let's split these guys up and split them to shoot the second one. We've got orange cloud over here, but no issue in our trusty Gila. It's just so powerful. I'm getting scrammed, which is really annoying because it's only one scram, so it's not too much of a deal. Shoot a bit of a heavy missile on to do a bit of extra deeps. We've got a tracking assist as well. Help the drones a bit. I don't even know if it affects the drones. Maybe it doesn't even affect the drones. But anyway, let's activate our MWD. Go to the bioadaptive over there. Deactivate our heavy missile to actually be able to pop it because don't want that to be cycling when you want to actually go for the bioadaptive. That's something you notice with the heavy missiles. They have a very long cycle compared to the rapid lights. The rapid lights will have really short cycles, but that's also the reason why they have a really long reload time to kind of balance out. You know, they've got a really high rate of fire, but they have really high reload time as well. Let's go here. Not so much. Okay, actually it was decent. 33 mil for the first room is actually pretty good. Usually what I consider is like 80 mil or more good, so I think that's pretty good right there. If we multiply that, I think that'll be like 99 mil, so that's really good. But then again, it's not 33. We probably got like 30 mil because we've got that little bit of extra stuff here from the ammo. So if we go here, yeah, 29 mil, so that's still a good average about 90 mil from the whole side. If we keep up with this rate, that's really good. It also seems like we're going pretty fast. I think it's a 70%. Yeah, I thought so. Like I can tell straight away if it's 70 or 50% minus 50% EM resist here. It's just how fast you can tell that sometimes waves are just going a lot faster than they do in the 50% one. Yeah, after running a lot of sites like I have, you'll kind of get a feeling too. I mean, no, I'm not always right. I have noticed sometimes I am a bit wrong, but you get a good innate feeling for it. Because really, I've spent too much time to admit in the Abyss. 800 sites T5's done, and that's not even counting the other types of sites I've done. You know, I thought in the beginning when I did Abyss in 2018, that's when I started. I started day one. I remember finding the calm dark filament in a data site because that's where filaments dropped in the beginning. They dropped in data site, and they still do. So you know, now most of the filaments you find in the market are most likely they're from the Abyss sites, you know, like we're doing right now. But you can also get them from these data sites you can find in like you know, hacking and just scanning them down in known space. And I remember selling a calm dark filament on day one. I remember logging in at like downtime and just scurrying to the data sites to find one. And I sold a calm dark filament for 100 mil. 100 mil. Those things are worth like 50k ISK now at 100 mil. Oh, so good. But I can imagine the guy who bought it from me also had a lot of money because he was then able to get into the Abyss before me, get all the other filaments before me, and then also get all the loot, and that was probably worth a lot more. Because I remember precursor frigate and all that stuff was worth so much back in the day. 200 mil plus easy. 200 mil plus for precursor frigate, precursor cruiser, precursor battleship, all that stuff. Just crazy prices on those things in day one because, you know, obviously no one had it. Everyone wanted to have this cool, sweet new stuff. Just like the Edencom stuff. The Edencom, really annoying. Edencom, how the battleship prices are just so expensive. We got those cruiser and frigate prices for free, skill books for free, but now but the battleship ones had to get from those sites a long time ago, and it's just so crazy in terms of the pricing, really ridiculous. And I remember in the beginning when I was running Abyss, like I was saying before in 2018, that I was mostly doing T2s. I sometimes did T1s even when I was feeling too scared for it, and this Gila is just so overpowered. And I also didn't have so much knowledge on fitting stuff in general, so I went with this passive tank Gila. It was so crap. Like, it was good, it had good DPS, and it had like a good nice buffer, but it was not optimal. It was so much better for me to go active tank. That's how I get so much tank in these T5 sites. And that passive tank really got shredded. My first death in the Abyss was to these 3 Vedmax in a T3 electrical. I tried not T3 Firestorm. They just destroyed me so hard. They starving Vedmax as well, so they neutered me out with the passive tank. I was not able to do anything. So then when I died to this T3 site, I was like, no, there's no way I'm ever doing T4, let alone T5. But here I am, 2 years later, just blitzing through T5s as just there, nothing. I got a wrecking shot right there. I noticed that bit of you got the shield alarm right there. Let's go for the Vedmax because they're doing a lot. Actually, activate NWD as well, don't forget about that. And we've already popped everything, so we can keep using our heavy missile. I don't have to think about it going for the caches because of how we've already destroyed everything. We get a bit of a capacitor. It's a bit low, but it's alright, don't have to worry too much about that. There's only 2 Vedmax left, we kill them very easily. And obviously, if stuff really goes south, I can always turn off my MWD. We've got the MWD on and we're still cap stable. And with them neuting us, that's how good our capacitor is. That's how good my capacitor is. I've also got an implant for capacitor that helps me boost my capacitor a bit. That's also a good thing to have if you just want to have that little extra boost to your capacitor. Alright, let's see if we get anything sweet from this bioadaptive. Sometimes with those really good wild cards from the really crazy amount of ISK from those skill books and mutaplasmids. Hope I do. Sometimes I've noticed in general you just get a lot of this 0-point condensate and a lot of the True Lavian survey data. You can get like 30-40 mil from just one of these in a T5. It's really good. You can just be a bit lucky on the loot scale, loot table. Let's go here, open this up. Okay, we didn't get so much 3.9. Actually, that was really bad. That's like one of the worst things you can actually get. It's low 3.9 mil in terms of the red loot. The red loot is what I call or what many people call the Triglavian survey data, because in wormholes you can kill these sleepers, and they have something called blue loot, and it's like this kind of sleeper data something, and people just call it for short blue loot. So people also have been calling the stuff that the Triglavians drop is called red loot, or not Triglavians, but like the caches in the Triglavian space, red loot. Damavix. Actually Damavix used to be called Demavix in like the beta testing, or not the beta testing, but like the test server. They were at one point called Demavix, like this. Look, Demavic, like this with an E, and then it got changed to Damavic. I remember in the beginning saying a lot Demavic, because I had heard of it a lot like that in the beginning, when how people were announcing the Triglavian stuff when it came out. Then it was always Demavic. Then when they finally came out, then they changed it to Damavic. I was feeling a bit dumb when always I was saying it, and then I was just seeing everywhere it said Damavic, but I'm for some reason saying Demavic. I felt a bit stupid, and then I realized later that, oh wait, it changed. Because at first I didn't actually realize they even changed. I thought maybe I just read it wrong, so that I was always being a bit stupid that it was Damavic, but I just read it Demavic for some reason. Alright, last wave. We've got Rogue Drone Battleship. No big deal, no big deal. Take 2 drones because we want to get through this quickly. And the main amount of it's not really going to much issue with tracking when it comes to the battleship. It's just the frigates right here, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We're not going to get a whole lot of drone aggro. Actually, the Bethnic Abyssal Overmind can actually go for your drones. That's something you have to watch out for. If you see him go yellow, recall your drones very quickly, because especially if you're at far range like I am now, say he goes yellow, he'll maybe start shooting my drones, and he'll actually maybe hit because he's very far away, so obviously he's going to have good tracking or be able to track my drones. So that's something you... So there is a lot of drone aggro, but the thing is, I've noticed that the Overminds, they don't actually often do this. They don't often go for your drones, only sometimes. It's a lot rarer than these frigates doing it. So that's just something to... Just keep in mind that the Abyssal Overmind can actually switch to your drones, because I didn't actually know this until I actually started doing a lot of Abyss. Then I actually realized that after running so many, that oh wait, actually it can actually switch to it. Even actually it has happened in very rare cases that the Drifter Battleship has actually switched to drones. This is even rarer than the Overmind. Actually, the Overmind is rare. The Drifter Battleship can actually do it even more, but if it does, it's actually quite good, because Drifter Battleship does a lot more damage than the Abyssal Overmind, or at least with my resistances it usually tanks a lot better the Bethnic Abyssal Overmind. And that is actually quite... I remember when I started running Abyss in the beginning, well, I was a bit like unsure of what tank you needed, so it was always a bit hairy. You know, sometimes I get low shields, a bit scary. And seeing my drones actually being switched on was actually quite relieving. Seeing the drift battleship, because then you're obviously going to take less damage. Your drones are going to take damage, but you know, drones are expendable. Not your ship is not expendable, or expendable to the same degree. All right, send drones now to the Bestnik Abyssal Overmind, please, please, please. And we can go to start shooting a heavy missile on this extraction node over here, because we only got last one. Then we'll start shooting the heavy missile on the Overmind. We've not got any tracking issues or range reducing effects, so I'll be able to hit my heavy missiles and almost hit my light missiles. My light missiles won't quite make it. They've got like the 33 kilometer range. You can see, yeah, 33 kilometer range. Not the best, but it's alright. That's actually something I really like about the faction heavy rapid light missiles. They got a good range. That 40+ kilometer range is really nice. You know, if you have the high grid Hydras, they gave it even more range. So that plus the faction missiles, you'll get like 60 kilometer range on the light missiles. Absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, let's go for this. Does it seem like we've got the most amount of loot from this? We've got, you know, 50 something mil here, unless we get something crazy from the Bioadaptive thing. I really want to get something crazy from the Bioadaptive. It's a long time since I got something crazy. Let's see what we've got here. Abyssal loot, 51 mil. Okay, it's not that great. Not that great at all, actually. Maybe if this Bioadaptive could clutch our loot right here. Time is alright. Time is decent. It's probably because we're in the minus 70% EM resistance, so it's obviously going to be a bit faster. 12 minutes, I think that's good. 12 minutes is like the average for me. 15 is pretty bad. Fast is like 10 or less. That's 10, 11 or less. Something like that. That's what I consider to be a good time. Okay, so I'm shooting the light missiles now. And absolute crap loot. Okay, so this is not great. 56 mil and like was like 13 minutes. It's going to take a bit of time to also get through this Abyssal Overmind. He's got a lot of EHP. I was doing Frigate Abyss a long time ago in a Hawk. I was trying a Tech 2, or not Tech 2, Tier 2. I keep messing up the Tech 2 and Tier 2. You know, you have to say T2 weapons. Anyway, I was doing a Hawk in a T2 Dark solo, and it was horrible. I died because there were like one of the waves was Charybdis Tyrannus, and there are two Bethnic Abyssal Overminds. And the Bethnic Abyssal, or not Bethnic Abyssal Overminds, is a different type of, but it was Overminds at least in the T2. And this guy has so much HP, so I actually died to time. I was actually able to tank the people really well in the Hawk, but the amount of DPS the Hawk was able to put out was definitely not enough for me. Really bad, really absolutely bad. So I just died to time. It was 20 minutes, just ran out. Very unfortunate. I've missed that Hawk a lot. It was I had like a 200 or 150 mil shield booster because I had the A-type small shield booster. So I had an amazing tank. The Hawk has a booster shield boosting capabilities, so with that A-type small shield booster, I had so good tank. But the DPS was not lacking. I had a full low slots of damage modules, but it wasn't enough. The Hawk only has 2 low slots. That makes it a bit of an issue sometimes with getting a lot of DPS. It's hard to get a lot of DPS with the Hawk, or at least, like, for example, compared to the Retribution, where it's quite easy to get 300 DPS and with minimal amount of modules, even because it's just got so many low slots, and also just the light beam lasers do quite a lot of damage. It's got good bonuses as well. Anyway, that's it for this T5 run. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.